makeup, skincare. Holy moly, do I have an Empties video for you. This is not just like a normal accumulation of Empties. These are all of my skincare and makeup Empties from the year 2020. But before that, I didn't say welcome back to my channel and welcome to the second to last day in the 12 collabs of Choimas. Woo! Almost done. Power through. Today I have the pleasure of collaborating with Jocelyn Claire over on her channel. She does a ton of project pans, shop my stashes, organize with me's. She has also posted Empties videos, but I noticed that she hadn't done one in a while, and so I asked her if she wanted to collaborate with me on this video where I share 1 year of makeup and skincare Empties, and she shares half a year's worth of Empties. So definitely watch her video if you want to watch something like this. If you are coming from Jocelyn's channel to this video, say hello in the comments. I would love to meet you, and I hope you consider subscribing before you go. Now, I have a ton of stuff, so I'm gonna tackle this by talking about the makeup first and then the skincare, and this is all gonna go by category in overhead perspective, overhead angle. So let's get into it. To tackle all of this, I'm going to be separating these out by category and kind of going through each of the products like that. First I'll do skincare, first I'll do makeup, then I'll do skincare. Yeah, let's get into it. Okay, first I have 3 little primers here, and I'm just gonna say like the fastest, maybe 1 sentence or a few word review on each of these. So e.l.f. Beauty Shield SPF 50, very thick, not a good texture. I had to mix in an oil with this, would not repurchase. Smashbox Primerizer Mini, it's good, very moisturizing, but overpriced. Just use a normal moisturizer. And lastly, this Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizer Primer. It did a weird thing and made my skin look like the cracked desert earth, which I don't have dry skin, so it was very absurd. And, bizarre. And these 2 I finished in my Project Pan 20 and 2020. For foundations, I have 5, and not all of them are empty, but I'll start with a couple that are. I have the It Cosmetics CC Cream, the full size, and this is like a good medium coverage, gives me a little boost of SPF, easy to spread with my fingers. And here I have the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream. It also gives me an SPF boost of 30, and I really like both of these. The Tinted Gel Cream kind of has it almost seems like all of the ingredients aren't fully incorporated sometimes, but it's okay for like a no makeup kind of look. And these 3 are not completely empty, but kind of are expired pretty much. So the Too Faced Born This Way, I was noticing that it was like separating inside, and so there was like a layer of just liquid. It's very watery in there. I don't know if you can tell by me moving it around, but I honestly was not a fan of this foundation. I know so many people really loved it, but I found that after a couple hours, it just looked so heavy and kind of cakey on my skin. I did not like it, so I didn't finish it and I let it expire. And then I have this Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation. It's now discontinued, but I made a lot of progress in this too. You can see how pretty empty it is. Maybe I had about like this much left in it. But I got this at the end of 2018, and it was just time to retire it because it has a doe foot, and I was putting this on my actual face, so I wasn't comfortable using this anymore. I thought it was breaking me out. And lastly, I have this Bare Minerals Bare Pro Powder Foundation, and it has some hard pan in it, and this was in my Project Pan 20 and 2020, as were these 2 items, and this one actually, and I just decided at the end of that project I was going to declutter this one because it is pretty old too. I have 1 concealer, which is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer. This is in the shade Neutralizer. Completely used this up in my Project Pan. And yeah, I haven't repurchased this yet. I do really like the formula, but I just got the Milani Conceal and Perfect, so that's why I'm holding off on getting this again. I have a few cheek products here. First, I have this highlighter, the ColourPop Super Shock in Lunch Money. And I used a ton of this, also was in my Project Pan, also a little old, the formula's getting dry, and so I said I would declutter it at the end of this year. This Basic Beauty blush was in my Project Pan. I used almost all of it up. The e.l.f. cream blush, this isn't the new one, it's the old formula, so I don't even know if they make this anymore. This was in like the soft peach shade, and it's really pretty color and it's pretty emollient, but I found that it disappeared off of my face way faster than even any of my other cream blushes. So I found that there wasn't really a point to me putting this on my face, so I put it in my empty/declutter little bag. Glossier Cloud Paint. Yes, I did actually use up an entire one of these, and it took all year. A lot of effort, a lot of focus, and it was in my project pan. I love it. I also use the very peachy one. I think it's called Beam. And I did recently also do a try on of Spark and Eve, but I won't use those as much because they're made for a deeper skin tone than mine. This is like a hot pink liquid or cream blush. Do you see how hot pink that is? It's just very like hard to control, essentially. I tried using this maybe about 10 times, but it was just not worth the effort, so I added it to my Empties bag. And lastly, this Bite Beauty multi-stick in the shade Cashew. This is one of the very first makeup products that I owned. I had my boyfriend buy it for me. Oh, I guess my fiance, hey, but he bought it for me years ago, and Bite Beauty doesn't have preservatives in their stuff, so their products expire kind of more quickly, but I did use I use this for both my cheek and my lips. It was okay. I like the magnetic closure though. Oh, I also forgot this one cream blush, the Physicians Formula Dewy Blush Elixir. This one looked straight up oily on me, super greasy. I was not a fan of this. Maybe some people with dry skin would love this, but it was just unbearable for me, so did not like that one. Now for mascaras, I have just a few. Oh gosh, I really should have more of these in here. I'm very guilty of using mascaras for longer than I should. I kind of push close to 6 months in using one mascara, so that's why I have so few, but the Staple Essence Lash Princess, I love her. I have backups of this one. NARS Climax I got as some like free sample, so I used it up and it was fine, but I feel like it pretty much did the same thing as the Essence one. Milk Makeup, this one I found smudged really badly on me, so it looks nice when I put it on, but then it just gives you panda eyes, and I don't even struggle with that a lot, but this one smudged real bad. And the Thrive Beauty Liquid Lash Extensions, this is a tubing mascara, meaning it like kind of builds fibers on the natural lashes, and then it comes off really easily with water. And I did really enjoy this one a lot. Right now I'm using the Wander Beauty Mile High Mascara, which is another tubing mascara. I just can't pay, I can't pay like more than $10 for a mascara. It goes against my moral values. I have a few brow gels. This is my favorite brow gel actually as of now. This is a ColourPop Brow Boss Gel, and I have mine in the shade Dark Brown. This is very similar as in identical to the Glossier Boy Brow, which I also have in my collection. They're both very waxy, not super wet formulas, slightly tinted, and I think they are beautiful and look very bushy and natural. These two are Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Gels, and the writing is like completely worn off this one. And these two are actually empties. They got so dry that I couldn't use them anymore. And I think I got them in the medium brown shade. These are hyper pigmented, very hard to control kind of formulas, but I like them for when I'm not using like a brow pomade or a brow powder or a brow pencil, if I just want to run something through my brows really quick and it looks like they're filled in. Oh, I also forgot to include this foundation. Oh man, I forgot about this one. This is the matte version of the IT Cosmetics CC Cream, and I am not a fan. I do not like this. It feels so thick and so pasty, very difficult to spread, and it just feels so heavy on my face at least. So not a fan. I tried to use it up, I really did, but I just couldn't. I have one eyeshadow primer I finished in my project pan, a mini of the Urban Decay Primer Potion, solid. One ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadow I'm including that was also in my project pan. This is in the shade Moonwalk, and it's dried out. Now for a ton of lip products. Now first is a lip product that I actually completed in its entirety, and that is my L'Oreal Color Rich Shine Lipstick in the shade Glossy Fawn. And this was in my project pan. I'm very proud of finishing this. This is the first bullet lipstick that I've gone through completely. And the other ones are expired. So I really did enjoy these two Bare Minerals matte liquid lipsticks. This is in XYZ and this is in Ohm. I know those are floating away, but and the formula of these are very whipped, kind of moussey. beautiful nudes. These just kind of started smelling weird. Also, do y'all see? It's like kind of oily on the container. So I think the separation, the product was separating as well. So it was time to let these go. For a couple glosses, I have the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Moonchild, which was one of Kathleen Light's shades. It's so gloopy and it has this actual like brush tip applicator instead of a doe foot. And it just, it felt so disgusting on my lips. So I think it was kind of expiring, maybe cracking up a little bit. And then also a formula that I personally am not a big fan of, but is very popular, especially with like Jessica Braun and Andrea Montellano. But this is the Buxom like full-on lip creams. And this is in the shade Hot Toddy. You can see I've used it up to here. And this just feels way too thick. Like way too thick and sticky for me. I also have one of these e.l.f. lip scrubs in the rose scent, and oh god, that looks disgusting. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to see that. I haven't opened that in months. And I also have this little perfume sample that I used up in Marc Jacobs Daisy. It's a classic. Here I have some cleansing products. My voice cracked like a what? Like a 13-year-old boy. But first I have the Garnier Skin Active Micellar Cleansing Water. This is the one with a pink lid, which is not like for waterproof makeup, but I essentially use this when I'm doing a lot of eyeshadow swatches, or maybe I want to take off some eyeshadow before I oil cleanse the rest of my face. So I used one of these up. I have another one I'm going through right now. I have a couple cleansing oils I went through. First is the DHC Deep Cleansing Oil. It's like an olive oil based oil, and it's fine. I really like it. But one that really stole my heart this year was a Fourth Ray Beauty BFD Cleansing Oil. This is in the old packaging. It used to be in it used to be in this packaging, but now it's in a clear packaging. So I have another repurchase of that I'm using. Now for cleansers, these these three I used up because I got them in BoxyCharms. You know what? I'm really glad I got these. Man, BoxyCharm must be good for something. I don't get it anymore, but these were really nice cleansers to use. I don't really have any qualms with any of them. This Murad one is a physical and chemical exfoliating cleanser, and I don't really use a lot of physical exfoliants anymore. The only thing I'll use right now is maybe the Tatcha Deep Cleanse Cleanser, but that physical exfoliation is very gentle. Nothing like this, which actually has like very fine granules in it. So I probably wouldn't buy something like this again. The Fresh Soy Cleanser I actually did repurchase after getting this one, and I really like it. I didn't have a super strong impression of this Glam Glow one, but it was fine. Now I have a couple samples of the CeraVe Hydrating Facial Cleanser, and I bought like the $5 small travel size of this to test out, and I really like it, like a lot. So I purchased a 16-ounce, like the value size of this cleanser, which sits on my bathroom sink now. I use it as a morning cleanse, as kind of a gentle cleanse that isn't very stripping, so that way I'm not washing, because I wash my face multiple times a day, and that way I'm not kind of stripping the life out of it. Next, I have my toners and essences. So I don't really go through this a lot because I pretty much start with damp skin, and I just go straight into serums, but sometimes if my skin gets a little dry, I'll start with one of these. So I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Water Essence. It's like a very hyaluronic acid heavy toner, and I liked it like a lot. It does have a little bit of fragrance, but it's kind of something that smells spa-like and a little more subtle. It's not super overwhelming or anything. And I just remembered, because I'm filming this video, I saw this empty and I was like, oh yeah, I have a backup of that. So I just took that out to begin using again. I have a couple of these SK2 Facial Treatment Essence. I got these in some subscription box and I use them up. They smell kind of funky. That's just because of the active ingredient in them, but I actually started using the CosRx Galactomyces toning essence and in place of these, and I really like that one. The CosRx one also includes niacinamide in addition to the Galactomyces, and so I'm not repurchasing these. These are like $200 per bottle. Not the mini size, but as in the full size bottle around this size, and that is just absurd to me. I didn't really see a big difference with this either. I don't know what the deal is with this product. Next, I have an exfoliating toner. This is the Ulla Henriksen like AHA toner, and it was fine. It worked okay, but right now I'm using the Paula's Choice BHA toner. Well, I use that like once a week or so, so I haven't repurchased this one just because I'm using the Paula's Choice one, and I think I prefer that one over this. Next, I have the Laneige Cream Skin Refiner. This is the like toner and moisturizer in one, and it was really nice. It felt very kind of nourishing and protecting, and I really liked it. And it was super lightweight because it's like a liquid formula. I would repurchase this, but I think I would rather just use like a gel moisturizer over this. And I couldn't tell if this was making my skin get a little bit bumpy and have those like small breakouts. And next I have this mini of the Tower 28 SOS Daily Rescue Facial Spray, which is a chlorine-based spray, kind of like how chlorine is supposed to disinfect public pools. It's also supposed to disinfect your face and help with acne. I didn't see a significant difference with this, but I did actually repurchase this because I wanted to give it, you know, like a more of a shot, and I kind of dropped off, fell off of using this consistently, but it was an empty. I don't really have strong opinions about this either. I didn't see huge results with it, but I know a lot of people have. Before I talk about serums, I want to talk about pimple patches. I went through a ton of these, and I actually, I can't find another box that I went through of the CosRx ones, but I have a couple of the classic CosRx. I also got a huge like value pack of the CosRx ones that came with this and the one with the black square, the clear ones. Those are amazing. I am now exclusively purchasing the one with the black rectangle because they lay so much better on the skin. And then I also had some of these random ones. Maybe they were in a subscription box or maybe I ordered them off of Amazon, but this is the Care Science Hydrocolloid Acne Patches. And then also some of the Avarel ones I got in a subscription box. These work too. Any hydrocolloid patch, just no matter what the brand, they work the same. For serums, I have many bottles of my Curology, and these are the large 2-month supply bottles. And my old formula was 1% clindamycin, 4% azelaic acid, and 0.25 zinc. And I have one of my new formula here, which upped the azelaic acid from 4% to 8%. And this really helped me for a long time, but I was starting to see more of a plateau with my skin, especially after wearing masks every day. It was kind of a new condition that my skin wasn't exposed to. So I have a prescription now for my acne. I have some topical tretinoin, and so I am not reordering these, but this did help me a lot. I've talked about it in the past, but I'll put up a picture of what my skin used to look like and then kind of more of a recent picture up on the screen here if I remember. I've got a couple of vitamin C serums. I have the CeraVe one. This is a 10% pure L-ascorbic acid serum, and then I also have the Ulla Henriksen Banana Bright Vitamin C serum that I got in a Tread Mood collaboration box they did. This is a 15% vitamin C. And first I'll talk about the CeraVe. Underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed. I didn't see a lot of results with this one. Maybe it's because my skin at this point needs more than just 10%. I'm more used to using 20%, like currently I'm using the Timeless Vitamin C, and that's the one I will continue to repurchase. This Ulla Henriksen one, I think I did see results with this one, but the thing is, it is so fragranced. I think like the third or fourth ingredient is orange peel oil. So I just use this up to use this up because I spent money on it. But if I could go back in time, I probably wouldn't do that again because I think it did kind of irritate my skin a bit. Next, I have one of these niacinamide 10% zinc 1% serums from The Ordinary. In 2019, I used up like 4 bottles of this. So here's another one that I used up this year. I started using less of this because I'm using some other niacinamide serums right now, and I'm using a bunch at the same time, which is why I don't have more niacinamide empties, but I'm using the Fourth Ray Beauty one. The Peach and Lily Glass Skin Refining Serum is niacinamide plus hyaluronic acid serum, and also that CosRx Galactomyces essence I was talking about earlier has niacinamide in it. So I have another one of this repurchased to use, but I'm just going through other stuff right now. For another like dark spot brightening product, I have this Caudalie Vino Perfect Radiance Radiance Serum Complexion Correcting. Anyways, I've used up 2 full bottles of this, like the $79 I think bottles, which I didn't purchase full price. I got in subscription boxes or something, I can't remember, but I saw results with this and I hated that it was so expensive. So now I'm just using L-ascorbic acid, the Timeless one, like I said. I just cannot in good conscience spend that much on a serum. I can't do it. I also have alpha-arbutin from the Inky List to help with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, and I went through this whole one. Again, I'm using all of these ingredients in conjunction, so I am seeing like slow progress with my acne marks. So I'm just gonna have faith in the ingredients and keep on using them. I gave my mom the Ordinary's version of alpha arbutin, and she's saying that it's been helping her melasma a lot too. Oh, this one, I love this product, and I have another one I'm using right now kind of intermittently. This is a 10% azelaic acid booster with licorice, which helps with dark marks, and salicylic acid, which helps with breakouts with oily skin people. And the texture of this is so much nicer than the Ordinary's 10% azelaic acid. This is the Shiseido Ultimune Power Infusing Concentrate. The purpose of this is to kind of enhance the penetration of serums you put on top of it. I'm not repurchasing this because that's pretty much the purpose of like water. It's really expensive too, so I'm not repurchasing this, but I got it in some subscription box. And the Derma E Scar Gel. This has panthenol for hydration and allantoin. It has the same active ingredient as Mederma, I think, which is more of like a popular mainstream kind of scar gel. My mom told me about Mederma when I was like in high school or something. So this is a Derma E version. It's like a clear gel, and I use it in the serum step. And I don't know if I'm gonna repurchase this just because I'm already using niacinamide, L-ascorbic acid, azelaic acid, licorice, alpha arbutin. So I don't need to use every ingredient under the sun at the same time. Oh, tranexamic acid, I'm using that one too, and tretinoin. So I just can't juggle all of those ingredients in like a regimen that won't irritate my skin. And then I have a couple of clay masks. I got this in like FabFitFun a long time ago, and this Glam Glow mask I think I got in some subscription box or maybe a birthday gift, but I don't really use these kind of charcoal clay masks anymore. Okay, I have a ton of moisturizer. I seriously just blow through moisturizer. I fly through it faster than I fly through anything else. And that's because when I use moisturizer, I use a lot of it, especially because I carry it all the way down my neck as well. So this is also a lot because I started the year off with a bunch of like half empty stuff. I was trying to use up a bunch of things I got in subscription boxes. Luckily in the coming year, 2021, and those empties, I won't have to deal with all these random little bits and pieces I got from subscriptions. But that's partially an explanation of what is happening here. So I used up the Sunday Riley Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream. This has alpha arbutin, which I talked about in the serum earlier. It helps with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. At first I really enjoyed this, but then as I used it more, maybe like the formula went off, but the texture, it was so like kind of filmy. It was lightweight, but it left a greasy film on me, and I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but I used it up. I also have the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream I got from a BoxyCharm. The texture of this is immaculate, but the ingredients list is so ridiculously long. Like I just wouldn't repurchase this because if there was something breaking me out or irritating me in this formula, I would have literally no idea what it is. And at the time I was using this, I was breaking out so much. And I'm not saying it's the fault of this, I just in general was breaking out a lot. That was my skin at the time. And so I am a little bit hesitant to like try this again. There is a mini of the Tatcha water cream. I love this. I remember hearing Hiram saying he really didn't like this, and I was like, what? This is like the best. My memory of using this is so good, and I do have another little mini of this like ready to use, but I don't know, I'm kind of cherishing it, and in Korean like akyoing it. I just don't want to use it for some reason because I want to cherish it, which sounds ridiculous. I really need to crack that open. I have a couple of the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Face Moisturizers. This I love. This moisturizer is so smooth and lightweight. I got these in an Allure beauty box a long time ago, and I purchased 2 Allure boxes just so I could have 2 of these moisturizers, and one of these lasts forever. I remember it took me over maybe around 77, that number is coming to my mind, uses to get through one of these, and each one is 1.7 ounces. It spreads so nicely. I would definitely repurchase this one. Here's another BoxyCharm using up item, the Glow Recipe Watermelon Pink Juice Moisturizer. I know people love this, okay? And don't at me, but I didn't like it. I found that it didn't really moisturize me, and like, it felt really nice, it smelled good, whatever, but when I put it on, I found 20 minutes later, my face felt a little bit tight, kind of like I had saran wrapped wrapped around my face. So let me know if you've had the same experience with this, but that's my experience with it. Another couple of minis from Belief, which I loved both of these. This is the True Cream Aqua Balm Aloe Vera and the True Cream Aqua Balm. So both of these were the gel moisturizers, and they were good gel moisturizers. I don't really have anything, they don't really stand out to me, like even compared to this Neutrogena one. To me, all gel moisturizers are kind of the same, but these were nice samples to use up. I have this e.l.f. Holy Hydration Face Cream in the fragrance-free version, and I loved this when I used it. I raved about it. I talked about how the texture was unlike anything else, but since I use this up, I've actually been kind of referencing CosDNA more for acne-causing ingredients, and this one has like multiple ingredients that score very highly in acne, which is not good. Like for example, there's stearyl heptanoate, which scores a 4, which is the same score that coconut oil has. And there's also isopropyl isostearate, which scored 5. And just because something has a CosDNA high score doesn't mean it's going to cause acne. It depends on everyone's skin. But I was like, man, that's such a shame. Maybe this was making me break out, because again, it was at a time where my face was always breaking out. So I had no idea what was causing all of that. But since I started referencing CosDNA scores, my skin has cleared up a lot. So I'm just gonna keep doing that in the future. Speaking of CosDNA scores, I was really excited to try this Dear Klairs Fundamental Water Gel Cream. Pretty much Hiram. Robert Welsh talked really highly about this at some point, but it has ethyl hexyl palmitate in it, which has an acne score of 4. And ethyl hexyl palmitate is typically the main, like, first ingredient in cleansing balms that you have to wash off with a good cleanser, otherwise it'll kind of break you out. And this was in the moisturizer, which I left on my face. And I do think that this one was breaking me out because my skin cleared up so much when I stopped using it. So not a repurchase for me. It looks empty, but it's not actually completely empty. I just poured it into this empty CeraVe container so I could pump it out. So that way I don't have to keep on dipping my fingers in here. So speaking of that CeraVe moisturizer, this facial moisturizing lotion, it's a PM one, the very, very lightweight one that everyone loves. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. When I looked up CosDNA, it did have a score of 3, which can be a little bit risky, possibly could break me out. And I typically try to avoid anything above 2, but I don't think this was really messing with my skin. So I do have a backup bottle of this purchased, and I'm gonna give it another shot. Other CeraVe product is the Daily Moisturizing Lotion. It's still very lightweight. It's a lot more lightweight than I thought it would be, because between the PM facial moisturizing lotion, this moisturizing lotion, and the cream, I thought it would kind of be like an even, like this is super lightweight, the cream is thick, and the lotion is exactly in the middle, but the lotion is really a lot closer to lightweight, the end of the spectrum. I like this a lot. I repurchased the 8-ounce size of it, I think, like the big bottles, and I let my fiance really uses this or likes this for his face too. I have the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Gel Cream, the extra dry skin, the fragrance-free version, and I liked this, but I flew through this. I used this up in less than a month, like bruh. So it's because I kind of need to layer this up maybe a couple of times for my skin to feel actually hydrated. I do have another backup of this and I like it. It's kind of expensive for how quickly I used it up, and I prefer the Versed gel cream that has like green tea and aloe in it. Also sold at Target. It comes with 2 ounces instead of 1.7 ounces, and it's $15, and I can usually get a discount on it. So in the future, I'm probably gonna repurchase the Versed gel cream over that Neutrogena one. I have a couple Pure Lease moisturizers, or I have a few that I got in an Ipsy, I think. None of these really impressed me that much. This was the most lightweight one, so I used it up completely. It's a priming moisturizer with silicones in it. This SPF 31 Blue Lotus, it was very thick, and this other Blue Lotus one was also very thick, but I almost used this up because at the time I had this, I didn't really have anything else. This Elemis one I got in a subscription box. I put it on my face and immediately threw it into this Empties bag because it is so fragranced. It smells like very old style kind of luxury skincare, so I could not use this on my face. A couple other gel creams, the Philosophy water cream and Dr. Jart Cicapair gel cream. I like both of them, but they're gel moisturizers. I can get affordable ones. Another gel moisturizer from Murad. I got it from a TJ Maxx. It worked fine, but nothing like, wow, this is unlike anything else I've used. This Sephora moisturizer is extremely fragranced. I would not recommend it. And then these just other random things. This was kind of thick, I didn't like it. This was kind of whatever. And also this was kind of whatever. Okay, last section is sunscreens. And I have a lot of other sunscreens that I'm like almost done with. So I bet I'm gonna have a lot more empties for this in 2021. But let me first start with these two. These are Korean sunscreens that I loved for a long time, but Purito, they recently had that study, at least at this point of filming, that like an external study that showed that SPF is actually SPF 19 and not SPF 50. So Purito came out with a statement. They said, oh, like we're looking into it, and they pulled everything off of their shelves in terms of their sunscreen. So you can't even get this now. Hopefully they get it worked out, but the texture was very nice. It wasn't lightweight. It was pretty moisturizing, but it was easy to spread moisturizing. Next, this was my favorite sunscreen, like absolute favorite, but it is produced in the same lab as this Purito one is. So this one has also been pulled from the Yes Style website as of now, and I hope they work things out because I really want to repurchase this. Right now, kind of in place of these, I'm using the Dermatology sunscreens. I have the tinted moisturizer one and the untinted ones. Those are actually very nice too. I would repurchase them, but they are pretty moisturizing. Like they look very dewy. So like I'm thinking of my sister who has very oily skin, like way oilier than mine. I don't think that she would be able to use those, whereas I think she would be able to use this Dear Claire's one and really enjoy it. I have this Misha one. It's actually pretty similar to the Purito one in terms of texture. It has that kind of classic Korean sunscreen texture that's very moisturizer-like. And this one was good. It was a little bit fragranced, but not crazy. I have the Supergoop Unseen Sunscreen SPF 40, and this is the one that is extremely silicone-y. It feels like the Benefit Professional primer, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I used it up. It's an entirely chemical sunscreen. I don't know if I would repurchase this because at this point, sometimes I don't like that very silicone-y feel of anything on my face, but it truly is unseen and truly is clear, so I will give it that. I have a couple of these Shiseido samples of the Urban Environment Oil-Free UV Protector SPF 42, and because it was oil-free, I thought it would be kind of lightweight, but this feels like a very traditional sunscreen. It has that very sunscreeny smell, which I know some people like, but I don't really like that, so I wouldn't repurchase these. The little sample of the First Aid Beauty Weightless Liquid Mineral Sunscreen, fully zinc, SPF 30. I would prefer a higher SPF than this, but it does the job. This was also a very moisturizing formula, but I liked it. Next, I have the Devil. This is the Ren Clean Screen Mineral SPF, and this irritated my skin so much. I have a picture, I'll throw it up here, and it made my skin very blotchy. Like I was breaking out in a rash from this, and I think it's because of all of the fragrant components I use in this. I know that there's this whole like fragrance isn't the devil kind of movement going on now, which is true, but it's only the devil if you are sensitive to it. And I think from my experiences, I am sensitive to fragrance. I mean, it did this to my face. So I would say it's pretty safe for me to avoid at least like high concentrations. If it crosses a certain threshold, then it will irritate me. And this Murad Essential C moisturizer with SPF 30, I didn't like. It was too thick. And this Kula one I also didn't really like. It felt really thick. And I also have this little sample. I didn't save like samples really for this video, but this one I think I wanted to give my thoughts on because I see so much about this. This is a Supergoop Daily Moisturizer with SPF 40. It was kind of thick. It was a little thick. So I wouldn't purchase this. And those are my empties. Oh my goodness. Who's tired? This year I was using up a ton of like samples and random things I got from subscription boxes here and there. But my 2021 empties I anticipate will be way more like consistent, a lot more full-size products, a lot more repeat products. So I'm really excited to see what my 2021 empties look like. But otherwise, let's go back to my face. If y'all have never tried collecting all of your empties in an entire year, try it. I mean, having all of this collected here, it really kind of, it shows you, it forces you to embrace the fact of how much you consume in a year. And I mean, I still have like one face. I don't do my makeup every day. I do skincare every day, but it's not like I do skincare for like 5 faces a day. This is like one person's empties and product use in a year. Keep in mind though that a lot of this stuff, especially the more expensive skincare stuff, I didn't pay for full price. I got from various subscription boxes. Now I have cut off all of my subscription boxes in terms of like BoxyCharms and Ipsies and whatnot in 2019. Now the products that I'm gonna be using up in the coming year are more like my staples, things I repurchase over and over again, and that's what I wanted. So that is what I had in mind when I canceled a lot of my beauty subscriptions. I hope this video was fun and satisfying for you to watch. I have literally been preparing for this video all year. Remember to check out Jocelyn's video too for her sharing her half a year of empties. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video and for spending your precious time with me. I know how precious your time is and you chose to spend it with me. Remember that y'all are my treasure. Find the beauty in every day, but most importantly, be kind to yourselves. I'll see you in my next video. Bye!